Good afternoon, Chairwoman Norton, Ranking Member Davis, and the members of the subcommittee. Thank you for inviting the NTSB to testify today regarding school bus safety. School bus travel, as you've heard, is one of the safest forms of transportation on our roads today. Children are safer traveling in school buses than in any other vehicle, but still, improvements can be made. Today, I will focus my remarks on NTSB recommended improvements related to occupant protection, driver oversight, fire protection, and the safety of children in the school bus loading zone. Compartmentalization, the current form of occupant protection on large school buses, is a passive system that performs well in frontal collisions. Unfortunately, in side impact collisions and rollovers, compartmentalization is incomplete and provides insufficient protection. 20 years ago, we recommended that NHTSA develop performance standards for school bus occupant protection systems that account for all types of collisions and rollovers. In 2008, NHTSA published a final rule that established standards for both lap and lap shoulder belts if voluntarily installed on large school buses. With the federal regulation in place, some jurisdictions are now equipping buses with this safety improvement. However, there still is no federal requirement for large school buses to be equipped with passenger lap shoulder belts. Additional, more recent school bus crashes have emphasized the need for change. Last year, following the catastrophic school bus crash in Chattanooga, Tennessee, the NTSB recommended that each state require passenger lap shoulder belts to be installed in new large school buses. Poor driver oversight resulted in unsafe school bus operations in both the Chattanooga crash and another 2016 crash in Baltimore, Maryland. In each case, the drivers continued to operate school buses unsafely with no remedial action being taken, even in the face of known driver safety issues. Improving driver oversight can prevent crashes. In the Chattanooga crash, the bus driver had about 5 months of school bus driving experience, during which he had accumulated numerous complaints about his driving performance. There was no systematic method for recording, tracking, or investigating complaints of driver behavior. In the Baltimore crash, the driver had a long-standing seizure disorder, yet was allowed to continue driving the school bus. We concluded that the driver understood his diagnosis of epilepsy and intentionally hid this during his medical examination. Further, although Baltimore City Public Schools was responsible for driver oversight, it failed to identify the bus driver as high risk. The NTSB has investigated several bus fires dating back to the 1988 bus collision near Carrollton, Kentucky that resulted in 27 deaths. More recently, in December 2017, a fire ignited in the engine compartment of a school bus in Oakland, Iowa, and spread into the bus's passenger compartment, resulting in 2 deaths. The bus was not equipped with an automatic fire suppression system that would have delivered a fire suppressant inside the vehicle's engine compartment, increasing the time to evacuate. We issued recommendations to NHTSA to require the installation of fire suppression systems in school buses. We also addressed similar recommendations directly to the school bus manufacturers. In addition, we recommended that NHTSA update the requirements for flammability of school bus interior materials. We know that more children are injured or killed in the school bus loading zone than on the bus itself. Following our investigation of a 2016 collision in which a child was fatally struck while crossing the roadway to board his school bus in Thief River Falls, Minnesota, the board recommended that NHTSA assess and update the guidelines on pupil transportation safety to address pedestrian issues related to conspicuity and route selection. We are now investigating 3 additional loading zone crashes in Indiana, Georgia, and Mississippi in order to identify countermeasures for preventing or mitigating future injuries and fatalities in the school bus loading zone. Thank you for the opportunity to provide our recommendations for improving school bus safety. I would be pleased to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Dr. Poland. Mr. Benish, President.